It's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Guess what movie I got back from seeing late last night? Yes, that's right, we're here to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, apologies for my bedraggled look, another midnight screening, another very tired Elliot. And as many of you must know, I am the Marvel realist. I don't dislike this franchise, in fact there was a time where I was deeply in love with it. But of late it really has just completely fallen apart at the seams, especially since introducing this multiverse story idea that they're really trying to force down our throats. I think they've really struggled to know what direction to go in and what identity they want to have ever since Endgame. And that's understandable. It's very hard to continue a story after you've hit the end, especially if you're not going to take a break. And now with that long-winded merger with Disney and Fox coming to fruition, Deadpool and Wolverine come together to save the MCU. Don't worry, I am going to tiptoe very carefully. I am not going to give away any spoilers. In fact, I'm not even going to give you a synopsis on this one. Let's dive headfirst into the positives. As someone who really is not Marvel's biggest fan and went into this movie slightly apprehensive, I have to be honest, the opening 15-20 minutes absolutely kicked ass. I loved the opening of this movie. It was funny, it was witty, it was refreshing, it was pointed, it was self-deprecating, it was good to see. It was good to see that Marvel actually could take a joke and understand that actually, yeah, we hear you audiences, we may have got things wrong in the past. That straight away just settled my nerves just a little bit and made me go, okay, maybe they are going to approach this from the right angle. Ryan Reynolds continues to crush it as Deadpool. He is at his most Deadpool in this one, I would say. He is non-stop with the jokes and the quips and the quick one-liners. If you find Deadpool to be an annoying character, it only doubles down here, so just fair warning. But actually for me, he never did cross that line and become annoying or eye-rolling, and I do actually think a lot of that is owed to Hugh Jackman. Not only being the straight man in the comedy duo, but very much being the emotional anchor and weight of the film that stopped it from becoming a little bit too circusy. He continued to find that wrought, painful emotion inside the character of Logan, and I thought he expressed it well with what he was given here. The action's great, the music's great. I really enjoyed a lot of the needle drops. I have got Madonna's Just Like a Prayer stuck in my head ever since walking out of this cinema. Dogpool is adorable, and the film 110% delivers when it comes to fan service, and that is a double-edged sword, and we will get to that. But right now, let's stay with the positive side of it. Deadpool and Wolverine managed to cleverly manipulate this opportunity into a situation where Marvel and Fox could right some wrongs of the past. And that was satisfying as a fan who is disgruntled by Marvel of late. That acknowledgement of fault and that tongue-in-cheek approach of trying to fix it and have a laugh about it really did go a long way for me. And I just had so much fun with that idea and some of the places and cameos that you get from that. But where that becomes a double-edged sword is that this movie still unfortunately suffers with the same problems that the other multiversal movies Marvel have done previously also suffered with. It does feel inconsequential still. It doesn't feel like there's really that much at stake here. It does feel like it doesn't matter if somebody gets painfully hurt or dies because you can just pluck them out of another universe and replace them. It just feels like there aren't any rules anymore and you can just do whatever, however. If you wanted the bloody King of England to suddenly be an Avenger, there's a timeline where that could happen, and that's just not fun anymore. There does need to be some sort of boundary and parameters. And that weightlessness did really make the film overall feel quite hollow. It's very showy, it's very flashy, it's very pretty, it's very satisfying, it's very fun. But it is one of those films where I walk away and I can't help but ask myself, how am I going to feel about this film in a year or two's time? I think I'm going to feel like it's hollow. It is fan service the movie. It is payoff, 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 payoff? Do you want some more payoff? Because there's some more payoff here. But without any strife, any real struggle for any of that payoff to actually feel earned. It feels like they're just doing it because they can. And it is very weightless, very inconsequential. It isn't affecting any of the other movies. And I just found this villain to be exceptionally weak. I can see that the actress is having a really good time, and I think the character definitely has potential, has some very interesting powers, but it was just weak. I don't really understand their motivations. They're just sort of psychotic because they are. And I needed a lot more from that. They felt very tagged on to the rest of the movie. Where this film shines is when it's Deadpool and Wolverine. That's where this film is at its absolute best. They do make for an excellent matchup. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman genuinely do have fantastic chemistry, but equally as the characters, both actors have nailed those roles perfectly. And they're just perfect matches where you've got this very stoic and emotionally battered Wolverine who wants to be violent all the time and can't die, and you've got this complete jokester who can't take anything seriously who wants to be very violent and can't die. Match made in heaven. And it absolutely shows here. But it is my job to acknowledge those flaws, and as much as many of those Marvel fans are going to come out of this movie and say film of the year, 10 out of 10, like I said, I'm the Marvel realist, and I just can't do that. But I can praise this film exceptionally highly, say it's a hell of a lot better than I expected, and I think a lot of you are going to have a very good time with this one. And I'm going to give Deadpool and Wolverine an 8 out of 10. But I stand by what I said. I am interested to see how I feel about this one in 2 years' time. It does smell a little bit like No Way Home, and just like No Way Home, I came out of that movie saying 10 out of 10, and yet if I watched it now, I'd probably give it a 7, to be honest with you. It's light, it's weightless, fun, but weightless. And Deadpool and Wolverine, unfortunately, feels a bit similar. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit that comment section as well. Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of this crazy ginger, well, you can always click on these suggested videos right here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.